After a long bout of silence, Kayleigh McEnany finally speaks out.
Gone astray, never found.
Do you miss me yet?
I got my style. That is why I'm in exile.
Compared to the current White House press secretary, Psaki, it was way more open back with Kayleigh McEnany, and she addresses and talks about Biden being gone, like we haven't heard from him yet.
Do you think you were treated as the way she is treated? Or were you treated differently?
Well, I think it's obvious to anyone who has watched the press briefings, it was an entirely different treatment by the press. I mean, for one, she was asked what Joe Biden thought of the Antifa riots. And, her answer was that she hadn't spoken to him. If I would have given an answer like that, it would have been unacceptable. The headlines would have been egregious and appalling afterward. Look, I respect her for saying that she would be willing to go on Fox. She has been on Fox and networks that will challenge her, as they should. But you know what? I guess my question is, where's Joe? It's been 41 days. At this point, President Trump had multiple press appearances, press conference. President Barack Obama had as well. Joe Biden needs to step up. We need to hear from him. He needs to engage in the transparency that he promised us. He hasn't thus far.
And then she really underscores what Trump did for the Republican Party in his speech at CPAC.
He has grown this party in a way that I think members of the Republican Party should recognize. He got the highest percentage of the black vote of any Republican candidate running for national office in 20 years. Highest percentage of the Hispanic vote of any Republican running for office in 16 years. He has made this party more inclusive, more expansive, more welcoming. And I think that Republicans on the Hill who are so quick to say President Trump doesn't have a place in this party, they need to look at the numbers and why these new voters who aren't typically Republican voters came to the party. And it's because he offered economic hope and opportunity to a lot of people who did not have that.
Why do you think he has made the decision that he's not going to start his own party?
You mean besides because he's smart?
I think he knows that for the betterment of his movement, fixing the Republican Party is the answer.
And now for a branding moment.
But there's a push to go back to the status quo. There's a push to exile him.
Ding.
To exile his movement, to try to cancel.
Within the Republican Party?
I think there is. I think you see that by members on the Hill who say the president doesn't have a place in this party. But, my message to them is let the people decide. There are 75 million incredible people, and they'll decide the way this movement goes forward.
Can he do it again?
I think he can do it again. I think, look, it's up to him whether to run in 2024. There are some incredible men and women in our party who are walking in the same kind of Trump ideology. Governor Ron DeSantis, amazing. Kristi Noem, Vice President Pence, a great man of faith that the evangelical community loves and adores, and he's a supporter of the Trump movement. When you look,
Kayleigh has the inside scoop on Trump that he is in fact going to run in 2024. It's all good news from here. I'm Doug TenNapel. In
exile.